welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I want to talk about making career changes and kind of the right mindset to have, for a mindset that really helped me, and I hope it helps you too. You can maybe pick and choose what works for you and what doesn't, because I think like a mindset or a career change is a time that can be a little bit overwhelming, and because it's marked by so many unknowns, at least for me it was and still is a time that is a little bit like unknown. And so for many people it can be a little bit difficult because a lot of emotions can come up, and it can be a little bit difficult for some people to navigate those emotions. And I think if we have like a correct mindset or a more helpful mindset, it can help us so much, and it helps me so much. So the first one mindset that really helped me so much was to shift away from this career change is something negative and I don't want to do it, and shift more towards this career change is something beautiful, exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. So to see the opportunity in it, to see it with eyes of excitement, and also to see it as something completely normal because for many people it happens that at least once in their life they have outgrown the job or the area of work they have worked in, and they want to try out something new. So for example, you have worked in marketing, now you want to work in HR. You have worked in, I don't know, medicine, now you want to become a teacher. Whatever it is, it's just a normal part of life for many people. And that's just because we as humans, we kind of evolve, and for many people it also transfers to their work. So maybe when you were 20 you had completely different interests than now when you are 60, or those kinds of changes. Or you have maybe loved the job that you were working for 5 years, but now you're kind of bored with it, and you want to make a change. And I think that's something beautiful, and it's something normal. Of course it's kind of like something uncertain, and but it's still something kind of beautiful that can lead you to new learnings, to new excitement in life. And it's something, if we see it from the lens of it being something positive, it can be very helpful. So that really helped me a lot. Also, what helped me a lot was to switch my mindset away from, oh, if I make a career change, I have lost everything that I have worked so hard for. So maybe you have worked so hard to become a lawyer, and then you worked in that area, and after 5 years you notice, oh my god, it's not working for me. It can feel like a failure, and it can also feel like all the hours of work and all that training was for nothing, if you, for example, want to become a teacher instead. But instead you can see it from a different perspective of saying, okay, many skills I can transfer from my old job or my old career or my old area of work, and I can transfer it to a new job. So for example, if you have already maybe worked in being a therapist, and now you want to work in, I don't know, HR or something, then you can already use your training that you have gained in therapy and becoming a therapist, and you can now use it in the context of companies. So very often it's not like we lose something, but we build on the old skills. And and I think that helped me a lot to see it that way, and that it's like it's not lost, it's just you build on old experience. Another thing that really helped me was to focus on possibilities and not limitations, because I was a little bit like, oh, I'm interested in this one area of jobs. Like for example, for me specifically, relationships. I could imagine being kind of a like relationship therapist, or like helping couple therapists, something like that, because I really like relationships. I have like done a lot of work, inner healing work, kind of trauma work when it comes to relationships. So something of my interest, and I still have that limiting belief of like, oh, but what if I'm not qualified enough? But that's why you do like all of those qualifications and all of that, like you grow into the role. So you should not look at it that way of thinking, oh, I'm not qualified enough. No, like you gain those qualifications by doing those qualifications. And sometimes it's just like imposter syndrome that's holding you back. And I'm also like doing currently therapy, and my therapist said like I could already become a therapist in that specific area of relationships, because I'm a really obsessive person, like addictive obsessive person. If I'm interested in one thing, I just learn everything about it. So that already gave me more confidence in order to actually go after those dreams, and to recognize that you don't look at what you don't have, look at what you want, and then do the qualifications necessary to get there. So because you can develop those skills. If you, for example, think, oh, I want to be in a management role, or I want to, I don't know, become a teacher, but you don't have those skills yet, it's not because you're incapable, it's just because you haven't learned those skills yet. But those skills are learnable, and you can develop those skills. And because you're capable of growing, you're capable of learning. So that helped me so much. Also, what helped me was to shift away from fear and shift more towards curiosity, because obviously, like, shifting careers or shifting kind of jobs, field of interest, is always connected for a lot of people with uncertainty. But if you shift away from this fear of saying, what if it doesn't work out, what if I will go into a different career and I notice that I won't like it, or it doesn't fit me, that's completely normal to feel that way. But it's also helpful to shift that mindset and think more like, okay, what can I learn from this? And even if I would fall into a kind of field of career that doesn't work for me, still I will learn so many things, and it will help me to learn even more, and then eventually fall more into a career path that works for me. So to see opportunities instead of feeling stuck, and to be curious about it, and to see it kind of as an adventure instead of a risk, that can help so much. To always focus on opportunities and possibilities, that can help so much. Like, if you're navigating those career changes, at least for me, it helps so much. Also, what really helps me was to redefine success. So the old mindset is that kind of success is having a good paying job. But in reality, success for me now is just that I'm aligned with my work, and also that, like, my mental health is good, and my mental health is good if I'm working something that I kind of believe in, and that I feel I can kind of, how do you say, that I can bring my best to my job. And that shift helped me so much, away from the external, what will people think, what does society think, and more towards the internal, what is important for me, what is important for a job for me. That helped me a lot. And also, what can also help is to think in the long term. So for example, yes, you could stay in a job that you don't hate for like 20 more years until you can quit your job and be retired, but that's 20 more years of agony. And what you can do instead is to think in the long term, and to be like, okay, this job change or this career change will be very uncomfortable, because it's just learning new skills, uncertainty, etc., etc. But in the long term of like the rest of the 20 years, I will have a higher chance of being in a career that I actually enjoy and love, and it brings me more happiness, more energy. And so thinking in the long term, like saying, okay, maybe the next 2 years will be uncomfortable while I'm navigating this career change, but still in the long term, it's super, super helpful for me. And okay, I kind of give 2 years, but I gain 18 years of happiness in a career. So that helped me so much to shift away from the short term and think more in the long term. And also, you don't need to have everything figured out. Like, it's also helpful if you have like a career coach or someone who can guide you towards this career change. But in the end, like, focusing on small steps, like for example, if you want to switch from marketing to HR, you can focus on, okay, what certifications do I need to obtain? Like, do I need to study again, or do I need to just do some courses? Like, focus on those small steps. Like, sometimes if we want to make a transition in life, very often it's hard to see the full picture. But sometimes if we just focus on one step at a time, those small steps, they can add up to a big transition. So that helps me so much. Like, I don't have everything figured out. I don't have to have everything figured out now. I can just focus on small steps, and they can help me to making this career change. Also, what helped me was to adopt a beginner's mindset. So I think that if you have maybe worked in one area of field and you already feel like, oh, like you have maybe achieved a level of expertism or like of confidence, and now you switch to another area where you're starting as a beginner, it can feel very uncomfortable, and it can feel like also maybe embarrassing. But instead of thinking that it feels embarrassing, you can focus on the amazingness of the joy of learning, how amazing it is to learn new skills, and how cool it is, and how exciting it is, and how much joy it will give you back in your life. So that helped me so much, that kind of away from, oh, being a beginner is embarrassing, and instead of saying kind of learning is amazing, and also every expert started first as a beginner. So that can help a lot. And also what can help a lot is, yeah, to celebrate yourself, because like this transition phase is usually quite hard for a lot of people because of all the uncertainty. But it's something super courageous to say like, okay, I value myself enough to actually invest time into wanting to create a career that works for me, and creating a career that I'm kind of like aligned with. That's something courageous and super amazing to do. And even because with every transition there will be some ups and downs and some obstacles, but even just the step of being courageous enough to making those changes is something that you should applaud. So that could be really beautiful. And in that context, also switching your mindset away from I'm so behind compared to others. Like, especially if you start a new career, it can feel like you start from zero. And then you can compare yourself with your friends who are maybe already more advanced in certain careers, and it can feel like, oh, I'm so behind. But it helps so much to refocus on yourself and to think, okay, like each path is so different, each personality is different, and in the end I just want to live a life that is authentic to myself, and I want to focus on what's best for my mental health. And for my mental health, it's best to do that career change and to focus on that journey, because each journey is so different. And also, to the contrary, I'm super proud of myself for doing this career change and for doing something that I'm kind of scared about. But I applaud myself for it, and I'm proud of myself for it. That can help. And also, what can also help is to focus on what you can control, because in this uncertainty of a career change, there are just certain factors that we cannot control. For example, if we get hired by a specific company, but what we can control is our actions. So focus on the things that we can control, like applying to certain companies that we enjoy, making a very good cover letter, etc., etc. Those are things that we can control, kind of the effort that we put in. And also, what can help me so much is to trust the process, because I mean, like career changes in general, they're so, like, it can really help if you trust, like, because if you shift away from your comfort zone, like from your previous career or shift or previous job into a new job or a new career, it can feel like you're leaving your comfort zone, and that can kind of yeah, it can kind of make you nervous. At least for me, it made me nervous, and it can bring up a lot of questions. But if you instead trust in the process, like my friend, she really believes a lot in God, and that helps her, which is so beautiful. Like, just believe that you are guided, and that every step that you take is something that is supposed to be taken in a way, and that you are guided and you're cared for and you're loved for. That's such a beautiful mindset to have. And I mean, I'm not so religious, but I'm like, oh, that's such a cool mindset to have. Like, that you're guided, you're supported by a higher power, let it be God, universe, whatever it is. That's such a beautiful way. And even if you're not religious, but just thinking that you trust that even though there might be some obstacles and some ups and downs, in the end it will work out. That's such a beautiful mindset to have. So yeah, I'm just thinking maybe No, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. So now it's just some, or maybe the last one. It's like prioritizing your own happiness. So instead of thinking, oh, I should stay in a job just because I already know how it works, it's my comfort zone, but I'm not happy. It's like similar to relationships as well. Just because you're in a relationship that you're already kind of comfortable with, but you're not happy, it's still better to kind of take the uncertain path and explore a new career path or a new relationship. Because if you're not happy, it's just not good for you, and you deserve to have like a life that makes you happy in a way. And job, like working is for most people such a big part of their life. Like I spent we spend so much time working. So if we work on something that has meaning to us, it is really a huge game changer. So we deserve to be happy. And for me also, like in my journey for the past years, also like I recognized how important it is to have a good mental health. And if you work on something that means something to you, and if you're kind of satisfied with your work, it can really contribute to your mental health and to your happiness overall. So yeah, and now some affirmations that can be super helpful and super empowering is the first one: I have the courage to create a career that I deserve. I am capable of learning anything I need to succeed. Each step I take brings me closer to a fulfilling career, and it's never too late to start fresh and to follow my dreams. So these are some beautiful affirmations. Maybe you can stop the video, you can write them down, put them somewhere in your room where you can see it every day, and that's super, super helpful. Helped me a lot too. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. See you in my next video. You can like the video if you like it. You can subscribe to my channel. You can also check out the description box, and I see you very soon in my next video. See you.